Out on the wing, goes to get that pass. The play on through.
I am very, very hopeful that Steve McLaren actually found back his glasses after that horrendous, and I mean awful, thrown to the ground. And also, I'm also hopeful that Casey Palmer is now settled after that scruffle with the Gold Cup camera crew. Welcome back, people, to MG Sports TV. Thank you very much again for tuning in. Really, really appreciate it, people. This is the Jamaica versus Guadeloupe preview show. And I tell you the truth, this one has to be on the coach. Very, very important that Steve McLaren get this right. Very, very important. Now, the reason why there's a lot of emphasis on this game is not just winning this game. It's not just about winning this specific game. It's about finding the right balance moving forward going to the Panama game. Because, well, every game has its own context. Every game has its own context. But finding the right balance is very, very important. All right. So, before getting into the details, you don't know anything already. For this video, we are shooting towards, let's say, 200 likes. Let's get the video over 200 likes. Ideally, I would want to hit 500 likes. Ideally, but we know that might not happen. But for now, I think hitting 200 likes would be totally fine. You don't know anything already, people. Effort, whole heap of research. At least hitting the like button, hitting the thumbs up button would be the bare minimum you can do as support. Now, asking no money, now asking no donation, I'm not asking nothing at all more than just you hitting the like button. That's all. That's all thing I'm requesting of you guys. Anyway, so let's get into the meat of the matter. 200 likes is a light target. Let's get into the meat of the matter. All right, so let's first have a look at the Guadeloupe game, the last game that Guadeloupe played, which should have been they played against Panama. A serious thrashing versus Panama. But, despite they got a serious thrashing versus Panama, they still managed to have 14 shots and 6 on target versus a more superior team. They also created quite a lot of dangerous moments versus Panama. Now, I have to say though, based off rewatching the game, watching the highlights, and looking at the key moments of that game, I do believe defensively they are not necessarily the best. When I'm watching the game, I realize that quite so often the Panama team had a lot of midfield runners running in behind, arriving in the box late, and the Guadeloupe team was unable to really rectify that or deal with that on a consistent basis. And that's how Panama scored about 3 of their goals just by midfield runners hitting the box early and then finishing the touch. And they were quite unable to do that. But one thing for sure the Guadeloupe team can do is they can attack. They show a lot of numbers in the attacking third. They can score goals, but because they shoot so much numbers in the attacking third, they create quite a lot of chaos. And in creating chaos in the final third, that would cause problems for any team. They push a lot of numbers forward and cause chaos. Now where the Jamaica team is concerned, we lost to Guatemala 1-0, and that was chaos. That in itself was chaos. That was basically everything just tumbled over on the Jamaican supporters, the Reggae Boyz team, the coaching staff, defeat. But there is still a small hope of positivity that we can turn things around. And in doing so, this is where we start. This is a hopeful aspect of where we can start turning things around. Can we do it? That's the question. Tonight, in the game night, we'll definitely know. But Panama game, we're gonna leave that for now because this game is very important because we have to pass this landmark first. Now, it's very, very crucial that when we played Guatemala, we learn the important lessons from that defeat. We lost that game from the starting lineup, come straight to the final whistle, panic throughout the game, and one bag of error. But we're hopeful that the coaching staff would sit and analyze that game and say, this is where we went wrong, or find out where they went wrong and try and rectify it. I could be wrong as well, so I probably never know where them go wrong. But just my brief observation on the outside. Now, on the other hand, this team is a team that has a very, very poor record versus Jamaica. We have consistently beat up on this team, consistently over the time. Now, the Gold Cup is a different situation because they are looking quite better. They are looking very sharp. Despite they got that huge battering from Panama, they did create enough opportunity to still score 2 goals. Now, the aspect of this is this group might boil down to goal difference, so we'll most definitely need to put some goals past this Guadeloupe team. And how are we going to do that? Scoring goals. Initially, we're going to have to go with more of an attacking lineup where we're going to have to start attacking them from the get-go and put goals past them. Our approach in this game, they're very weak down the right hand, well, in the wide areas. That's how Panama got most of their goals, starting from the wide areas, starting from the middle of the park, going out wide, then coming in, and then you realize that the Guadeloupe team would have struggled with dealing with the midfield runners. So that's already a blueprint in how to get it right over them. The blueprint is already there. Panama would have already drawn it and said, this is what we need, this is what you have to do to beat this team. But on the other hand, Guatemala would have also exposed our blueprint in how to beat us. And I'm 100% sure that Guadeloupe would be looking at them and say, okay, this is how we can get at them. They are very strong in the Reggae Boyz team is quite strong in many different areas of the pitch. But one thing for sure, mentally, we showed a bit of weakness where that game is concerned. So I do think two factors that the Guatemala team did. They were very aggressive, very front-footed, and they try to win all first and second ball and do a lot of transitional foul. First, second ball, and transitional foul, we were very, very weak where that is concerned. So that is also one of the blueprint that Guadeloupe might take up and say, let's get at this game, let's get at them aggressive, let's get at them fast, let's hit them in transition, but also break up their transition when they get opportunity. But be a lot quite physical with them. And maybe they'll lose them head, maybe a card or two here and there might temper them. And, So this is actually the blueprint to beat the Reggae Boyz. On the other hand, I do believe, and I still believe, that we should definitely get the job done. And specifically in a huge margin. 4 or 5, that margin. 3, 4, 5, maybe that margin. If we can't do that, we might be in a bit of pickle when it come on to the final day where goal difference might be a huge factor. The whole aspect of this is we have to get over. We have to get over that defeat. Put that defeat behind us and say, you know what? It's no time for us to move on. That happened already. The Guatemala game happened already. We still have 2 games to rectify it. We have 2 games to fix it. Fixing the issue that we face in the Guatemala game, then progressing forward to say, okay, let's see how we can rectify that issue and see how well it worked in the Guadeloupe game. And also see if it can also work in the Panama game. Because, as I said, 2 different teams, so the mindset is going to be a little bit different where that is concerned. But fixing the issue is of most importance right now. Now, I should go into the possible starting lineup. For me, my starting lineup consists of Andre Blake in goal. I think that's kind of a given. Still going to go with Amari Bell in the left back position. He has been good so far. He has been quite consistent. For this time around, I'm going for Lembikisa in the right back position. Why go for Lembikisa? I think we'll have a lot more of the possession than that of the Guadeloupe team, which means that we're going to be more so in the final third. And Lembikisa is a better player in the final third than that of Latibodir. Now, the coach still might persist with Latibodir because he still wants the midfield, the right back, to invert. That's his way of offsetting the shortage that we have in the middle of the park. Inverting the fullback, and then you still end up with a double, and also one of the midfielders push forward. Formation is 4-2-3-1. Once one man push forward, the fullback will invert with form a 2. So we technically build up in a 3-2-4-1. Think that's it? Yeah, 3-2-4-1. That's how we technically build up. We have two, probably the midfielder will advance, that become like a 2-10. We have like 2-10, two wide wingers, 2-10, two wide wingers, and the man up front. That's how the coach technically wants the team to build up. And I'm not sure if you really need to do that in a game like this, because and with that, if you even have that extra security, because really and truly we need a game. This game need goals. We really need goals in this game. So the handbrakes have to come off. So I am saying going Lembikisa would be the ideal aspect here in progressing the ball up the line as fast as possible in the final third. Now, centre back pairing, I'm going to go with Richard King. And the reason I'm going with Richard King is, if you realize watch for the game, notice every time either the defenders they receive the ball, or even the central, even when Demelo receive the ball, first person you look to, go to Richard King, because he's actually one of the better ball handlers in the team, and he can also progress the ball either over the top or through or break the line, or probably sometimes break the line by dribbling. So he has that capability, and more than likely will definitely for me he's the choice beside Ethan Pinnock. And we know Ethan Pinnock with those very, very good diagonal passes over the top in behind the fullback, which would going to be very, very crucial. Now, in the middle of the park, for me this time around, as I said, I'm going with a double pivot. Keroy Anderson would have joined the team. I'm going with Keroy Anderson and John Russell. Now, John Russell will get the freedom to be a 6/8 box-to-box. So, may I give Keroy Anderson more so the role to stand up in the middle of the park, just behind everybody. He's going to be the balance between the defense and the midfield. So he will be the person to receive the ball from the defenders and progressing the ball to their midfielders beside them. Either the left half space, which would have Gray, or the right half space, who will have Russell running in those channels. So right hand side, I'm going to go with Leon Bailey. Now, one thing for sure, we can't have what we have last game. Out of 54 touches, we can't have 27 turnovers. No, not 27, 21 turnovers. That's not good enough. And including, that's basically almost losing possession half of the amount of time you have the ball. And then on top of that, turn him at the ball another 10 times. That makes no sense at all. This game is a game for Bailey to take the ball, take on the fullback, get behind the fullback, get the ball in. And if you want to go inside to get a shot off, do so. Another option here is to have Lembikisa probably overlap or underlap to take the defender off of Leon Bailey, so he can get the opportunity to either go inside and get a shot off, or go down the byline. So, what a turn back ball, not necessary for this game. You go forward, go on like you do something, then you cut back and turn back. That's definitely not going to be needed for this game. This time, be direct, take on your man. On left hand side, I don't even have to tell Ronaldo Cephas to do that. Ronaldo Cephas will be the man on left hand side for me. I see a lot of people saying they prefer to have Demario Gray on the left hand side. No, Demario Gray and Liam Bailey play very similar. Go down to the byline, go on like the motor car the defender, then they turn back, then go so shit, rock. And then see them go so and then they turn back the ball and pass off it. And you see them move back like say they do something. Really and truly, that's nothing. That's nothing. Now, I understand the aspect of security, like wanting to hold on to possession. I understand that. But really and truly, 90%, it didn't make no sense to finish a game. It makes no sense to finish a game with a 90% passing accuracy But yet still, out of the, if you pass 30 ball, and you complete 28 of the passes or 27 of the passes, and 20 out of those 27 are passes to the fullback, that makes no sense at all. That makes none. And then now the other side, you probably lose all the ball 5 times or something. That doesn't make no sense. Now, I have no problem with Randall Cephas going to the fullbacks, taking on the fullbacks, creating chaos in the final third. That's what I want my wingers to do. I want my wingers to create chaos in the final third. Go beyond the fullback them and get the ball in the 18-yard box. And if you're not going to do that, cut inside and get off your shot. Sometimes the shot will come off, sometimes they won't. That's just how the game goes. But that is what I want in the final third. That's what I want in the final third. Listen, I'm not the coach, you know. I'm not the coach, you know. But I prefer a player that's going to cause chaos in the final third versus a player who is in the final third playing safe. I want my holy midfielder to play safe. He can break the line sometimes. I want my centre backs to play safe. I want my full backs to play safe. I want my goalkeeper to play safe. But my attacking midfielder, try the ball him. Ding some ball over the top. Try to find the forward. Try the line breaking passes. If you get cut off, fine, no problem. We'll try again. I want my wingers to be very, very direct. I want my wingers to be careless. Going at the fullbacks them. Take them. You can try to beat the man 5 times or even 10 times. All I need is 1. You just want to beat him 1 time. Just want to beat him 1 time, because that 1 time when you beat him, a goal can come from it, and that might be the deciding goal. That's what I want my fullbacks to. So me know people. I do really want to know what they tell me, boy. Now pass no. More my fullback, my wingers them direct chaos. Go down to the byline or cut inside and get off a shot. Go down to the byline, cut back the ball. Cause problem for the defenders. And if you not cause a problem for the defenders, really and truly, you don't serve no purpose on the field. Now, in the attacking midfield position, I'm going to go for Demarai Gray. I'm a little bit concerned with Demarai Gray's not performance, but his style of play. His style of play is basically because of his characteristics. He's a winger by nature. So what you'll find out is that both Demarai Gray and Cephas end up in the same channels quite so often, are even not too close to each other, because that's more so Demarai Gray in his natural habitat, just a drift to the left. That's just natural for he was trained that way. He was developed that way to go onto the left hand side and go out wide. So him the kind of change him role right now in personalities or characteristics in the football sense to play a little bit more attacking midfield position. So it's going to take him a little bit more time to adapt or to get it right. But I do think that he does have those killer passes to find the players in behind. Don't be afraid to make the pass. If you lose the ball 10 times or 9 times out of 10, no problem at all. As in, if me not about just give away ball, me not about you try and make the pass and the pass not work out. I have no problem with that, because the one time the pass got through, that could lead to the one goal that we really need. So don't be afraid to make those passes. Demarai Gray and Leon Bailey, don't stop with the security thing for your numbers look good, for your 100% accuracy. No, we don't need that right now. We need goals and we need chaos. We need players who are going to take on them fullback and cause problems for defenders and cause problems. When they do something, they move players out of position because it causes anticipation. Defenders also anticipate what you're trying to do. But if the defender knows that once them goes to boom and double up, you turn back the ball, them job done. All them do just come off now and just ease off. Them job done. I don't want that. I want defenders who will panic when them see you receive the ball. Even when them double up, you still a run at them. Even when them come double up on you, you still a run at them. Lose the ball. That is where you're supposed to lose the ball. That is exactly where you're supposed to lose the ball. Going forward, going at the goal. You're not supposed to lose the ball. I'll turn at the ball and lose the ball. None makes sense. Anyways, leading line, I'm going with Warner Brown. He didn't have necessarily the best game last time as well, but he was really running the channels, and I still want to see that. Not a lot of persons are going to say Mikel Antonio. From my perspective, I love the recovery of Mikel Antonio. I love the comeback story of Mikel Antonio, but I'm very, very cautious if he's really, really ready. and throw him in the deep end like that, I was extremely worried about him. None of us really know what happened after the game, what his physique is like. Many might hope that he's fully okay. Many might assume that he's fully okay. But for me, kind of go with the doctor in regards to the 12-month period, recovery period. This is a miraculous thing to come back so fast. Now, 6 months, that basically cut. Well, them say medicine would have advanced, but no. I'm just a little bit worried where that is concerned. I'm happy that he's back. I'm very, very happy that he's back. But I'm very, very concerned if he's fully ready right now. So, I'm going to go with Rona Brown leading the line. So, that would be my starting lineup. Hopefully, we can get the job done. Where predictions are concerned, I'm going to go Guadeloupe can score goals. So, I'm going to go Jamaica 4, Guadeloupe 1. I think that's a fairly decent scoreline. Anyways, tell me what you think if it had changed anything in the starting lineup. Tell me what you think about my analysis of the game. Go in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. And I'll see you guys again. Until next time, MG Sports TV. We're out. God bless. Boom. Outside. And the girls are, what? Outside.